We live in a very dynamic world. It's tough to predict what it will look like in 50 years, but we can rest assured it will be different. The total world population is expected to increase by 40 to 50% to approximately 8.5 billion people. There will be major political instability between countries that do not have access to fresh water or share a quickly depleting source. The rise of middle classes in developing countries will put more stress on freshwater resources to support their lavish lifestyle. Rising temperatures and rising evaporation will lead to increasingly variable precipitation. This will cause both more droughts and more floods. Here are some of the major contributing factors. Agriculture accounts for up to 87% of global water use. The extensive irrigation networks required to produce high yields are straining our water supply. In many areas of the world, especially in agriculture application, water is often underpriced and subsidized. This results in overconsumption and excess waste of water. The mismanagement of water resources has led to the overpumping of groundwater. As a result, aquifers are used faster than nature can replenish them. Widespread pollution has contaminated freshwater sources. For example, Asia's rivers contain 3 times as many bacteria from human waste as the world average and more than 10 times OECD guidelines. We decided to see what some of the students at the University of Western Ontario know about the subject.
How many people in the world do you think lack access to fresh water?
Well, there's about 6.1 billion people in the world, and I would say 15% of people don't have access.
Percentage is fine.
Percentage?
Sure.
70%?
Do you think that developed countries like Canada have anything to fear in terms of the growing water shortage?
I was under the belief that Canada had a lot of fresh water, the largest supply of fresh water in the world, so I didn't think we had anything to worry about, but I guess we do.
Absolutely. Canada has the world's largest freshwater supply, so if the rest of the world is starved from it, I mean, water is a basic form of survival. If people don't have it, they're going to act to get it.
How worried are you about running out of water on a scale of 1 to 10?
Currently, probably about 2.
To be truthfully honest, if you asked me 5 years ago, I'd have probably said I have no worries. But if you ask me now, I'm gonna say it is on top of my head sometimes. It is a worry. Scale to 1 to 10, I'd probably say maybe 5.5.
Water is not an issue that can be isolated to a certain industry, that can be isolated to certain causes. It's all connected. Everything's interconnected. So I think you're going to see as one industry starts to go down, that's going to affect other industries, and you're going to see a multitude of effects.
As water scarcity increases, food and beverage industries will experience increased costs and public outcry. To put this in perspective, financial giant J.P. Morgan did a study that concluded that the 5 major food and beverage corporations, Nestle, Unilever, Coca-Cola, Anheuser-Busch, and Danone, consume enough water a year to satisfy the daily water needs of every single person on this planet. In particular, Coca-Cola, the largest beverage company in the world, will be greatly impacted by the water shortage. It currently uses 2.7 liters of fresh water for every 1 liter of Coke produced. The rest is discarded as wastewater. This has dramatically affected the freshwater resources in India. In 2004, one of Coca-Cola's largest bottling plants in India was closed because the village refused to allow it to continue to use their fresh water. Is this the future of Coke? Coke acknowledges the risk it faces. In its 2007 annual report, it reads, "Water is the main ingredient in all of the Coca-Cola products. Coke could face capacity constraints and increased production costs that could adversely affect profitability."
Right now, a bottle of Coke in a vending machine costs about $2. Would you be willing to pay $3?
No.
No, I don't even pay $2 for Coke.
$2
It's
is too much.
ridiculous.
Hell no.
How about 5?
Well, I would pay 3.
Solutions. What we have done thus far to deplete freshwater resources is irreversible. The use was excessive, the pollution was damaging, and the disregard was simply shameful. But we can still improve on our current state and lay a foundation for responsible water usage in the future. In order to both earn a profit and be environmentally responsible, an example of a sustainable option is a desalination plant which uses renewable energy. As mentioned, over 97% of the world's water is saline water. Therefore, the process of desalination, which uses a substantial amount of energy to convert salt water into drinking water, offers a significant opportunity to address the water shortage. For example, there is already a product being marketed by Aqua Aero Water Systems. It is a uniquely designed structure that utilizes energy from the sun to evaporate salty, dirty, or polluted source water into condensed, high-quality drinking water. Freshwater shortage is an issue that will have catastrophic consequences for future generations. Who's to blame? No one but ourselves. Governments and corporations need to ask themselves, at what point do we stop putting the economy over the environment? We need global support, local awareness, and individual responsibility now, or we will run out of water.